The next niche market we're going to look at is both very competitive and very, very profitable. Cosmetic dentistry, pretty much anything related to health markets, especially when they're cosmetic, tend to be very, very valuable because they're typically not covered by insurance, and the doctors can charge a lot, the dentists can charge a lot, and they're able to increase their advertising budgets. So let's look at cosmetic dentistry, and we're going to start with 4.8 million pages. Another way that we validate a market is we look at AdWords representation and AdWords visibility. If you go to a market like underwater basket weaving, there used to be no ads, and now there's like one ad for an underwater basket weaving class, which I think is kind of funny. But when you see no advertisements on the AdWords side, you have to question if the market is commercially viable. So AdWords is a great barometer. When you see lots of ads, and especially when you see featured ads up here, we got 2. Let's look at all the ads down here. We can go straight down the list. You're going to see that this is a pretty significant opportunity. We click more sponsored links, and let's see how many of these are going to load up. 1 page, 2 pages, so continue, 3 pages. So already we're looking at 30 pages of ads, 40 pages of ads, and we can just continue and go on here. So this shows you that this is a pretty significant market. Let's go back to the main results in Google. What you're also going to notice is lots of local listings. So you actually see a map in AdWords. So this is the merger of universal search, local search, and AdWords, which is great. So if you have a local business, you can actually get your maps integrated. And this is just a wonderful way to interact with your customers. But you're also going to see some very significant localized search and geotargeting. Atlanta, Georgia. And right now we're shooting this in Atlanta, Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia. And this actually has a specific address in it, Atlanta, Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia. This is teaching us that this market is focused on local. So now when we're building niche markets out, what we're going to do is focus on locations, because people are going to start with cosmetic dentistry and they realize that they're getting places all over the country, and then they're going to self-select down and get to the long tail and start saying, well, I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. I don't want to see a dentist in California. It doesn't make any sense. So they go for cosmetic dentistry Atlanta. This is also obviously a very expensive market when we're looking at 50-plus ads and anything, again, related to cosmetic procedures in the health market. Just very, very expensive. So let's take a look here on, in addition to local, what other opportunities do we have to dominate in this market? We're always looking at related search results. Cosmetic dentistry costs. So ABC News, that's interesting. There must have been some media, but there's really nothing I can do with that. Extreme Makeover, that's a show, so maybe not really interested in that. Prices, that's interesting. This is telling us that people are looking for prices and cost. Both are related to it. And what's interesting is keyword modifiers. You can add this for local. So you could say cost of cosmetic dentistry in Atlanta, price of cosmetic dentistry in Atlanta, and you can modify your key phrases and your content around that. Cosmetic dentistry photos, that's something that works pretty nicely. Lumineers as a brand. So photos, when people are searching for photos, they're looking for results. They want to see what other experiences and end results people had. So you can focus on photos. USA Today Health, this is obviously them reviewing different media, so that's not something that we're going to do. Cosmetic dentistry before and after, that's interesting. That's really related to photos. So this tells me that we can do content with photos and focus on before and after. So let's take a look here now at Lumineers. And let's see what that is. I believe that's a brand. The No Fear Porcelain Veneer. There we go. Lumineers, a No Fear Porcelain Veneer. Great little tagline. Let's take a look here. Let's just erase some of the extra content we did. So we just went to 172,000. So we went from 4.8 million to 172,000. A little bit easier to compete in this market. We're also seeing more local, so local still fits. And Lumineers is a brand. When someone is looking for Lumineers, they've already decided that they want veneers, and they've even decided what brand they want. So now they're focusing on a local provider, because it's not something you're going to do over the internet. You have to go to a dentist's office. And they're also going to focus on things like cost and reviews and things like that. So let's take a look here. Atlanta Vining's Dentist, porcelain veneers. So again, so the key that we're learning here is veneers. Porcelain is coming up. We have local doctors' names. Prices, right? So prices and cost, that's pretty interesting. So we're still in prices. So now if we drill this down, we're actually doing, luminaire veneers pricing in Atlanta, Georgia. Sounds like a very complicated and long tail search phrase, and maybe no one will type that, but you know what? People do, because they're drilling down, and it shows that their intent is to get luminaires in Atlanta. They're specifically telling you what they're ready to do, and that's someone who's ready to take action. That is the definition of the long tail of search, and that's where we can go and we can start closing leads for dentists. This is obviously not something, unless you're a dentist yourself, you could do this in your own market. This is really a great example of how we do this and how we close leads, because we get down to the level that someone wants luminaires and someone's in Georgia. Guess what? That lead is worth a lot of money. What else are we learning here? Luminaires, right, porcelain, veneers. So we got porcelain, we got veneers. Any other brands? I'm looking for brands and I'm looking for keywords. So dental implants, that makes a lot of sense. Da Vinci, that's another brand. Review makes a lot of sense, right? So as a key phrase, people looking for reviews, they're looking for costs, right? It makes a lot of sense that they're trying to research the market and get other people's experience. That's why they're looking for photos. That's why they're looking at before and after. They're trying to see what people's experiences are. You have Zoom whitening. Whitening, could be related, but if people are going for veneers, it's a very different price point. It could be, I think, a full set of veneers could be $25,000, $30,000. So this is a pretty significant procedure at that level, and a dental office is going to be willing to pay a lot for that lead. Tooth bonding, so we have bonding in there. So when we take a look at this list and how we're drilling down, we're able to really take this to a level that, one, we can compete on, and two, still has a lot of market viability. Let's again do our AdWords test. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ads there, 8 ads there, 2 ads up top. This shows me that's still commercially viable. Let's go back down to the bottom of the page, and let's take a look at one more brand. Let's take a look at Da Vinci veneers. And we're going to see here that there's 49,000. So this is even less competition than before. So why not go after these brands? Da Vinci veneers in Atlanta. Let's see what's ranking here. Find a Dentist, Dallas. So, you're seeing here a lot of local providers. North Dallas. This makes a lot of sense. So if you can start focusing on Da Vinci veneers review, Da Vinci veneers pricing, Da Vinci veneers in New York and Atlanta, you can build a business around this and start capturing leads to sell, or build an information product and sell it, sort of the pros and cons of different brands of veneers. And you can take this step and do this for not only services, but also for products like we've shown in some of the other niche markets.